This is Positive Tiger Gamer coming back at you with my first episode of my new playlist called Question and Answer segment, where I'll be highlighting different topics, as you've heard in the introduction. So, folks, on this first episode of my Q&A playlist, I will be answering my favorite all-time question of why do you love steam locomotives and electric locomotives and not diesel? Well, folks, here's my answer to that particular question. Steam locomotives, we'll break it down in half. Steam locomotives, they were the founding, as I call it, the founding fathers of the railway. They are the ones that built the modern day railroad that you see all over the world. You still see the steam locomotives on the heritage rail lines in Great Britain and Wales, around the United States. Every country probably has heritage lines. So, for those of you who may not know what a steam locomotive is, a steam locomotive is a locomotive that provides the force to move itself and other vehicles by means of expansion of steam. It is fueled by burning combustible materials, usually coal, oil, or rarely wood, depending on the design of the locomotive and what they are used for. There are oil-burning steam locomotives. There are coal, oil-burned. And that, so you can kind of see what they burn by the different designs that were made and manufactured. Some clear, famous examples is the most Great Britain's famous London and Northeastern Railway Class A 444-68 Mallard, who's the fastest steam locomotive, reaching 126 miles per hour on July 3rd, 1938. Another one who got famous attention is also from the LNER with Mallard, but is a Class A3 steam locomotive, 4472, otherwise known as the Flying Scotsman, who was the first steam locomotive to officially reach 100 miles an hour on the 30th of November, 1934. And that, pretty much, steam locomotives, like that says, pretty much were the founding fathers of the railway, of the modern day railway. They were the first design locomotives to move both freight and passenger services throughout the world. There were different designs and concepts that you can read about, and that. Fortunately, due to numerous factors, steam locomotives started to get used less and less, and ended up on heritage lines, as you see, with Wales being the first country to have a heritage rail line, the Talcotton Railway, which is a narrow gauge railway in Wales, which if you live in Wales or live near Wales, highly recommend you all go check that out. So pretty much, yeah, I really love the steam locomotives for those reasons. A few other reasons why I like the steam locomotives are because of the different concepts that they use and the roles they played into making history, especially like in the United States, where two different rail companies were able to build the Transcontinental Railway, and then you've also had the railways that served in wars, like I talked about in my opinion and answer series, where I highlighted in the latest one, where if it wasn't for the railways, we wouldn't have, the war outcomes would have been different, and that wouldn't have been possible without the invention of steam locomotives and people's will and determination to say, hey, we need to move people from here to there, before cars and automobiles were invented along with planes. The other type of locomotive I like is what I call the electric locomotive, which is basically a locomotive that runs on electricity. There are various types of them, but they're more energy-saving style locomotives that are more easier to use, and that. I really don't have to go too much reasons on why I like the electric locomotives, just for the fact that they are energy efficient. I would personally have to say that based on research. A better alternative than diesel locomotives, and that. So switching to why I don't like diesel locomotives is because of how much fuel that is used for diesel locomotives, the type of fuel, and that big old puff of cloud that they usually leave behind. Even though I know, yes, steam locomotives do leave a cloud of smoke, but that's because that will go for water vapors and that. whereas diesel locomotives disperse a cloud of fuel that kind of lingers around a little bit longer before dissipating, unlike steam that kind of once it comes out of the funnel of the locomotive, it kind of quickly vanishes without a trace. And then the other thing is it diesel locomotives out of all three of them, in my opinion, are the highest maintenance costing locomotives because of the diesel power engines that has to be that gets used, and that and plus also too with the diesel locomotives, you really kind of, to be honest, you really don't see really that many colorful paint schemes as we see. Shout out to the CSX Railway for their heritage locomotives for honoring their predecessors, and that, which is amazing in terms of the heritage locomotives, because it kind of shows the history that formed for that company, and that. But going back, really, out of all three of them, I've had a lot of people ask me about, well, which ones do you like? Do you like the steam locomotives, diesel, and electric locomotives? I'm going to be honest, I would prefer steam locomotives, number one, followed by electric locomotives, and then diesels. I really dislike the diesels because of their loud engine and the stink that they leave behind. No offense to those who are supporters and love diesel locomotives. Like, this is just to share my opinion and provide my own answer into it, not to argue with people. Even though I know a lot of people will disagree with me, the fact of, oh, well, diesel locomotives are this. Like, okay, yeah, perfectly fine, but this is just my opinion and how I feel, and I want to share my opinions. So I really like the founding fathers of the railways, as I call them, the steam locomotives, and the future locomotives, which are the electric, as we see more and more electric locomotives being produced due to climate change and changing on regulations on the railways and that. So, folks, that concludes episode 1, Why I Love Steam and Electric Locomotives, for my new series question and answer. If you have any questions relating to topics that you hear in the introduction, feel free to leave me a comment down below, and maybe your question might be part of the series. Who knows? So, folks, I'm Positive Tiger Gamer, wishing you all a good positive day, and we will see you all in another positive episode of question and answer. And that other thing is hopefully you all enjoyed this series. I hopefully do. I'm glad you all liked the opinion and answer, and I'm going to continue with that. So, folks, you all have a positive day, positive week, and we will see you all on another positive episode, folks. You all have a good one.